Hola, ¿cómo estás? Welcome to some Spanish-speaking metal. This could be labeled as melodic death thrash metal, roughly, give or take. This one is Emissary and an album called Eldritch. It's the debut album by this band, released by a smaller label, Fetzner Death Records 2025. Early 25 release indeed. Comes with a glossy digiback and a booklet, which is here to cater to your needs with the lineup information, recording information, lyrical content, as well as some band photos. Now, obviously, the style is here, very, very old school. This is almost like taking back the 80s, which is curious because when I was looking up for some information regarding the band, it seems like most of, or maybe all the guys are from the 90s, some even late 90s. So it's like 90s kids doing a very retro-ish take with their music as well as the aesthetics. So we're talking about kind of a 80s influenced death thrash, but in the sense very, very 90s inspired. Now, before we go into the past of the given band, but let's already take this Metal Archive site open. It's worth noting that Metal Archive site at least 8 different emissaries. Yes, 8 bands with the name Emissary, and the oldest ones are from 1989, if I recall correctly. A couple of them from the 80s. Then quite a few ones from the 90s, even one Finnish one. Then a few ones from the 2000s. However, there was like as new band as like something like 2020 one-man metalcore band from Australia, from, and I'm like thinking, don't you have Metal Archives or Google for that matter in 2020s to be used to check out if a band is taken? Now then comes Emissary, like, hey, we're from 2023 and we're gonna take this name Emissary and use it. And I'm like, what the hell, man? Now, before we go on, I want to rant a little bit. First of all, this is a message to the Emissary guys. Before you keep building up the fame and all that stuff, there's plenty of time for you to change names. Why? First of all, you have less than 100, something like 56 likes on Facebook. So not that big of a problem in terms of changing names. And less than 300 likes on Instagram, at least during the making of this video. And since this is your first album in 2025, and there are at least 7 different metal bands with the same name, a good idea could be to change the name and avoid confusions, or like in some cases, lawsuits. Just take it from someone who has been in the metal scene for more than 30 years. But beyond that, let's start talking about the music and the band. So here it is, labeled as thrash death metal from Barcelona, Catalonia, beautiful city by the way. So Spanish stuff, which is not that common if you consider the size of the band, the land, the country, and given how many bands are actually doing extreme metal from Spain, must be some cultural thing. Members, 4 guys, and some of them have been here in the band for already a couple of years since the beginning, and some newer ones. Similar artist tab for this moment is empty, and kind of understandable given this is the first album by the band and was released just in February 2025, so only a few weeks prior to this video coming out. So here within you can see 8 tracks, 33 minutes give or take, and then this cover, which is kind of a full of horror. I mean, Eldritch and horror cover, yeah, it's very, very H.P. Lovecraft kind of a thing, I guess. Alright, let's talk about the music. Now, throughout this course of action, it's kind of a given that these guys, I'm assuming, skipped the demo phase and straight on went for a full album. Why this is my guess is that the album sounds very, very demo-ish. It's not like it's bad, but let's be honest about it, nothing fundamentally different is happening here. Most of the songs are pretty basic standard bulk kind of stuff. A lot of riffs and a lot of ideas here are something like, yeah, I've heard them probably a million times. I wouldn't be bothered about it. I wouldn't bitch about it if it was just like, wow, good, really good. But it's very, very basic and very, very mediocrity throughout the whole thing. Whether we're talking about vocals or, individual riffs or songwriting in general, it's passable, but let's be honest about it, nothing really goes like, wow, it's that great. It's more like something to, listen to while you're having your beers. But apart from that, I still think this is a very, very much a warm-up level man. If I'm being totally frank about it, I would say this album sounds like it's made of the first demo collection of things. And the production isn't really, supporting any other kind of idea, really. It's more like everything is done with a budget. Rather strict one, I might add. And I'm wishing this has more energy, more balls, more extremity. Now it's almost like we're gonna steer this towards heavy metal, but we kind of want to do a little bit death thrash. First of all, in death metal standards, this is very, very, very lightweight. It's not really extreme metal. When it thrash, it's not thrashy enough. And for heavy metal, well, let's be honest about it, this is kind of too dirty and too unclean to be heavy. So it's in the middle of a playing field where it doesn't really cater any of those needs. For heavy metal, not clearly talented enough to make it that with the vocals, with the riffs, and for thrash, too tame, for death metal, too lightweight. So it's almost like, what are you guys after? I find it very, very much work in progress. And this is not like I'm hateful or I'm saying this is a bad album, but I'm saying there's so much things to do. And this is why bands never should skip the demo phase. Rather, go for it. Do demos. Hone it. Polish it. Perfect it if you can. So, for those who are looking for something new and interesting, unfortunately, this is not that yet. Who knows? Maybe the second album will just blow our minds and be like, this is the heaviest shit ever from Spain. But so far, this is the stuff that Emissary is coming from. I would still say, change the name while you still can, before you're actually good and you're gonna take the audience by the storm, because that's when the lawsuits or problematic information things might happen. Trust me, there are plenty of bands which have gone through the same thing, and sooner or later you will see on Metal Archive site, this band changed name. So there's the story. Now, off you go, enjoy, links are included in the description box. Bye bye.